Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to review Star Daisy and also share with you guys the strategy to using Star Daisy. Star Daisy is from the Mickey and Friends series, and Star Daisy does have the same drop rate as Star Mini, so for me, I do have all the other Tsums maxed out. So for Star Daisy, it is at 50%, same as Star Mini. Okay, so the ability description for Star Daisy is clears Tsums randomly. And the game demonstration that you're currently watching right now is a skill level 1 game demonstration. So if you only have Star Daisy at skill level 1, essentially this is what you're going to experience. To activate her ability, you will need to clear a total of 16 copies of her off the screen. Her minimum score is 180 with a maximum score of 915. So when it comes to score, nothing too amazing. I would say it's in the average range. So you wouldn't necessarily be using Star Daisy to get a high score. And if you want to get Star Daisy to skill level 6, you will need to get a total of 29 copies of her to max out her ability. And guys, if you're enjoying this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, review the pickup capsule, review the selection boxes, and sometimes I even do tutorials, then definitely subscribe to this channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot, so please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Alright, so let's take a look at the skill chart on the bottom right hand corner here. So as you level up Star Daisy's skill level from skill level 1 to skill level 6, it's going to clear additional Tsums. So for skill level 1, it's going to be 20, and then every single time you level her up, it's going to increase by 3, but only for the first 3 levels. So starting at skill level 4, every single time you level her up, it's going to increase by 4. So as you see, going from skill level 3 to skill level 4, it's a jump of 4. And same for skill level 4 to 5, and then finally 5 to 6, it's also an increase of 4. So it's not a typo. There is an increase of 3 only for the first 2 to 3 skill levels. And then skill level 4, 5, and 6, it's going to increase by 4. So there is a big difference. So let's talk a little bit about the ability as well as the strategy here. So what you should do when you're using Star Daisy is always just spam the ability button, because these amount of Tsums that you're going to clear is going to be standard, so it doesn't change. What you should do is focus on clearing the star bubbles, and these star bubbles will help you, or not star bubbles, but magic bubbles. These magic bubbles will help you charge up the ability time. So essentially, you'll be able to activate the ability a lot quicker, so you definitely should focus on clearing as many Star Daisies as you can. So let's take a look at skill level 1, 2, and 3 here. So the difference here, the only thing is the amount of Tsums that you're going to clear. Skill level 1 is 20, skill level 2 is 23, and skill level 3 is going to clear 26. Now, you might wonder what happens if you clear a big Tsum on the screen, and that's one of the exceptions. If when you clear the Tsums, or you activate the ability, and one of the Tsums that gets selected to be burst is a big Tsum, it's gonna get an additional 4. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have a skill level 1 Tsum, and a big Tsum is included in that burst. So normally you would get 20, but add 4 to that. So instead of a chain of 20, you're gonna end up getting 24. Now, the other exception to that is if you don't even have 20 Tsums on the screen and you activate the ability, it won't clear 20 Tsums. It's gonna clear all of the Tsums on the screen. That's unlikely for skill level 1, but let's say you have Star Daisy at skill level 6, it's going to clear 30 Tsums, and if you don't have 30 Tsums on the screen, it's only going to clear whatever is on the screen. So let's say if you only have 20 Tsums on the screen and you have Star Daisy at skill level 6, then your chain is only going to be 20. So you ideally want at least the minimum amount of Tsums on the screen geared towards whatever your skill level is. Sometimes if you have a bubble handy, burst the bubble before you activate the ability. By doing that, it's going to guarantee enough Tsums to clear. You might not be able to see the Tsums on the screen itself, but after you burst the bubble, Tsums are actually going to start falling from the top. So they're going to be there. So even if your screen is completely empty, they're kind of stuck up there on the top. Believe it or not, there's actually a whole screen on top of your current screen where the Tsums are falling down. So you don't need to actually see the Tsums. They're there as long as you activate the ability. And another tip that I have for you guys is once those bubbles are generated, try to burst them before they fall to the bottom of the screen. You want to try to maximize the amount of Tsums that your bubbles are going to clear. So like you see there for skill level 3, one of the bubbles already on the very bottom of the screen. So it's not going to be as effective as if the bubble was a little bit higher. So you want to try to burst the bubble as high as possible, especially if they are next to a Star Daisy. That's the perfect scenario. Alright, so let me show you a side-by-side comparison of the ability activated at the same time. So that was in full motion, so I'm going to slow this down so you can see the animation and see what's actually happening. So the animation is actually super cute. I think that it's perfect for the 9th anniversary. And if you take a look at the screen here, you'll notice that the Tsums that they clear, or that Star Daisy clears, is 100% random. You'll have different versions of different types of Tsums on the screen, so it doesn't only clear one type of Tsum off the screen. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to set it up or anything like that, it's just going to randomly clear. Ideally you want more Star Daisies on the screen, but that's not always going to be the case. So for these 3 skills, for again skill level 1 I was supposed to get 20, which I did there, and actually all 3 of these abilities I got exactly what the skill level is. So skill level 2 I got 23, and skill level 3 I got 26. So like I mentioned, the higher the skill level, the more you're going to clear. But one thing I want to call out here is take a look at the charge up bar here really quickly, and you see how before I even cleared any additional Tsums, I'm already a little bit charged up, and that's because I spammed the ability button going into this ability. So you always want to do that. When you spam the ability button, any additional Star Daisies that you clear will go into the second charge. So you require a lot less Tsums to activate the second ability, or second time around essentially. By doing that, you'll get a lot more chains or a lot more coins because you're activating more abilities per game. So that's another tip that I have for you guys, is to spam the ability, especially when your Star Daisies is getting really close to be full. Like I would say if you have your Star Daisy at about like 75% charged up, that's when you should start pressing the ability button. So that way any additional charge will go into the next charge up. And then also, like if your burst or the random Tsum clear ability, if it ends up clearing some of the Star Daisy, that's also going to carry over. So there are going to be some situations when you're playing her at skill level 6 that you just have back-to-back ability. So it might not be a bad idea to just spam the ability button even when you're in the ability itself, because you might have back-to-back abilities. In those situations, your Tsums will be already set up because they're going to be starting to fall from the top like I mentioned earlier. It's going to be part of the screen where you can't see, so you'll be able to optimize that. So overall, Star Daisy is a really easy Tsum to use, especially for beginners, because you don't have to necessarily set up the screen. All you really need to do is just spam the ability button and you'll be able to use the most effective strategy for Star Daisy. But Star Daisy is not going to be an amazing score earner as well as coin earner. So because of that, I can't necessarily recommend using Star Daisy except for her cuteness. But let's take a look at these results anyways. So for skill level 1, I ended up with 1,430 coins. Skill level 2, 1,795. And skill level 3, 2,202. So a lot of 2s there. So not amazing for coins. I think it's an okay Tsum for skill level 1. And for skill level 2, it's okay as well. It's nothing too amazing. I definitely wouldn't be using a 5-4 or a coin boost for skill level 1, 2, and 3. You're going to need to get her to skill level 4 before using the 5-4 and coin boost combo. And taking a look at the score here, I got 4.5 million for score, 5.8 for skill level 2, and 6.2 for skill level 3. So nothing too amazing for score as well. Definitely don't want to use Star Daisy for score. It's not that amazing and you're not likely going to end up at the top of your ranks here. So that's my review for Star Daisy. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or at least entertaining. And if you would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, or would like to support this channel, please consider subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching.